it was over. So they wasn't in any hurry about getting us home, and we stayed there in that base till finally they sent us to Southampton, and we boarded a victory ship. And it took us 8 days to come back, and it was on high seas about 5 of those 8 days. That we got on top of a big wave down, and we couldn't go topside, and the prop would come out of the water, and they have to shut the engine down, so because those props are not balanced as good as an airplane propeller is. So, and a lot of the guys were ground personnel, and they weren't used to motion sickness, and a lot of them was sick all the time.
This was on the boat trip home?
Yeah, the Grande Victory. Yeah. It was it went over with a load of troops and came back with us. Oh. But it took us 8 days. And it wasn't going to take us over there. It took 16 hours. They flew us over. They was in a hurry to get us there.
Yeah, in a hurry to get you there.
Yeah.
And how long till you were processed out and were civilian again?
Well, I came home, and she went with me down to San Antonio, Texas. I had a nice leave there, and I went to San Antonio at Kelly Air Force Base, and they found I needed some surgery, so they operated on me, and then when we had a little place, she was staying in a little sleeping room in San Antonio, and somebody tried to break in. He was upstairs, and she could hear them talking, and she got a dishpan of hot water, and she was going to douse them if they started up that ladder.
When the war was over, were you eager to put it behind you? Did you talk about it much with other guys?
No.
Just
I've talked more about it lately than I ever did, but
yeah.
Seeing what the boys are going through now, it makes my heart ache.
Yeah, because I mean, you know what that phrase "war is hell" means.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions? Any questions from the crowd? Go ahead, Ted.
While you were fighting, what did you hear? What were your thoughts on it? And did you know about what was going on in the Holocaust at that time?
I didn't quite.
Did you know what was going on with the Holocaust?
No, we didn't know about that. I had a neighbor that lived next door, and he was in the Army ground forces, and he helped liberate some of those prison camps, and I learned a lot about that after I got out.
Once you learned about that, did you feel, I don't know if this is the right way of putting it, but did you feel better about what you had done? I mean, once we learned about the Holocaust and the nature of that regime, did that add just sort of an extra justification to the war?
I just wish, well, you young people can get together and talk things over. That, well, this president we got now, Obama, he wants to go talk to these people, and we need to pray that he'll be able to talk to them. Because if he can't, we'll just keep getting into fights, battles. Our boys will be going over there, losing their lives and getting crippled, and that's not what I think we should do. I think we ought to be more diplomatic than what of course. Like I said, when they jumped on us at Pearl Harbor, that gave me the want to go. But like I say, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. But they didn't need any pilots, and I was in the Army. Said you go to infantry or the gunnery school. They needed gunneries over there in Germany and I guess in Japan. So they sent me to Las Vegas, Nevada, and that's where I took my gunnery school.
Yeah.
Then come back through there on a DeLand route to Tampa, Florida. And my wife and I got married. I come in on Thursday, and we got married on Sunday after church. And the preacher said, we're gonna have a wedding. The pastor did, and he said, if you wanna leave, you can leave now. If you don't wanna leave, just keep your seat. And everybody stayed.
That was because of gasoline rationing. People didn't have gasoline to come back.
Yeah. and
Everybody.
we've got some pictures at home, but I can't believe all the people stayed for that wedding. We've been married 64 years.
Now, when you were flying these missions, you were 19?
Pardon?
You were 19 when you were flying these missions over Germany?
I was 18 when it so happened that I was 19. I had a birthday before we went overseas.
19.
And
And how old was the oldest guy on your plane?
he was 26, and it was the navigator.
20.
And I think radar operator was probably next, and then the co-pilot. And the pilot was just a year older than me, and the flight engineer was about my age. I'd like to see him, but I haven't got to see him since he lives out. Last I knew, he lived in the state of Washington. But
Yeah.
he had a drinking problem, and I had to kind of ride herd on him when we'd go to town, because he'd get drunk. And I kept telling him, you're going to ruin your life. But the co-pilot, I talked to him. He came to visit me down here about a couple of years ago, and I asked him about Bob Davis, and he said, well, the last time I saw him, he came to tell me goodbye. He was coming home, and he was drunk then. But you know, that's a shame. All you young people, just stay away from that stuff. Don't let anybody think it's good. It'll just ruin your lives. And that's.
Any other questions from any students want to ask any questions? I guess maybe the last question I'll ask, we've got just a few minutes left, is why do you think that, you said that you haven't really talked about the war much except in the past couple of years, and why do you think that there's more interest in the past 5-10 years in the war than there was, say, before? So, when I was young,
Yeah.
I mean, there were World War II vets all over the place, but
Yeah.
no one ever said,
They're
let's go
dying
hear the
off,
vet talk.
So many, I read it somewhere, so many a day. Us old guys is kicking the bucket.
Yeah.
And
So there's kind of a rush to talk to you while we can, sort of thing?
if the doctors hadn't been working on me, I'd probably be gone too. Because they've done a lot of surgery on me. Last how many years? Well, 9 years. They had a aorta surgery, and they didn't. Well, it went all right, but I talked to people there, and there's not too many people surviving. And then after that, they did heart bypass. And,
Yeah, I think the youngest vets are now in their early 80s,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the youngest ones are. Question from class? I'll just make this my last question. What do you think young people today, or just people today, should know about the war? What's the important thing for them to know about the Second World War? What just comes to your mind as something that is important about that war?
Well, the main thing is that our troops did put down Hitler and Mussolini, and they had in mind that putting us all, we'd have been servants to them if they'd had their way about it. They'd have took this country over, and every free country. We had to stamp them out, and right now, of course, over there in Iraq, they got Saddam Hussein and got him, but there's a religious, they're almost fighting a civil war themselves.
Right.
To try to get control, and they want to have a democracy, but they want the different ones want to be in charge. And I don't know whether they'll ever get it straightened out. Of course, you reading the Bible, you kids all have read your Bible, but people over there in that, well, in Bible times, they was always fighting one another. Just like in Babylon, they'd take, well, they took the Jewish people and put them down in Babylon. And they left a few there, but they took the choice, young people and all, took them down there. And of course, the Nebuchadnezzar was the one that got them down there, but later on it was, I can't think of his name, but anyway, he got them out, and he told them and gave them money so they could go back to Jerusalem and build the walls and set up the Jewish capital again.
Right. So when I mean, you think the important thing for folks to know is that war had a real purpose to put Hitler, Mussolini, Hirohito out of business. Yeah. And then this is just the last one. Do you think it's true that during the Second World War the U.S. was much more united than it has been since then?
Yeah, it was united because of what happened. Right. I think that Pearl Harbor put us all wanting to do something.
Right, because before Pearl Harbor, a lot of Americans didn't want to have anything to do with the war, but Pearl Harbor changed everything, didn't it?
They did. Roosevelt was holding off and trying to be neutral. Right. I think they were helping England with planes and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
And training their pilots. When I was a kid, I used to ride my bicycle out 21st Street. You all don't know much about Tulsa, but the pavement ended at Yale, and it was 21st Street was just a dirt road, and I'd have to take the fenders off of my bicycle because it was muddy, and we'd ride out there and hide our bikes in the bar ditch and go swimming in a cow pond. And a lot of these young British guys was coming over, taking their flight training out there at Spartans, and they'd wag their wings and wave at us. And that's one thing that kind of encourages. We thought,
yeah, that's British pilots coming to the States and Canada to train.
They were training in PT-19s,
right.
And we rode our bikes out there to where they's at, and well, boy, they're learning to fly, and they's out there playing softball and is having a big time.
It seemed like fun.
That was real appealing to us kids.
Well, let's be sure to thank Mr. Wagner with applause now, but then also on the way out, be sure to thank him. I'll go to the back door just to check off what I need to check off.
Yeah.
Be sure to thank him for coming. He came all the way in from Tulsa to talk to us today. Thanks very much for coming. All right, so we'll break up. I'll go to the door there.